Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and in this video, Bitcoin, as you can see here, got a rejection of this resistance level because in my last video, I mentioned that Bitcoin was beginning to break out to the upside, but I said keep an eye out on the volume and also keep an eye out on the retest, because if we fail to confirm this level as supports, then we will continue to head back down, and that's exactly what's happened. And so far, we've found some massive support at this price level, which also comes in confluence with a massive Fibonacci level. I'll explain more about that in just a moment, and I'll let you know my exact Bitcoin price target, so make sure you stick around for that. And as you can see just here, over the last 2 weeks, I've been dollar cost averaging into Ethereum. Just in the last 2 weeks alone, I've accumulated about $30,000 worth of Ethereum, and in just a moment, I'll tell you exactly why I'm doing that. I'll be explaining my Ethereum price targets in this video, and also I'll be sure to include some more altcoins towards the end of this video as well that you guys suggested in the comment section of my last video. And I'll be sure to cover the most suggested altcoins first. So yeah, if you let me know in the comment section down below your favorite altcoin, and if a bunch of other people are saying the same altcoin, then yeah, I'll be sure to add that altcoin to one of these videos straight away. There's just going to be so much valuable information in this video, so please make sure you're watching this entire video all the way through so you're not missing out on any of this valuable information. And yeah, if all of that sounds good to you, then obviously make sure to just leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of my future updates. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos each and every day to try and help you make money in crypto, so if you could just spend a couple seconds to click like and subscribe, it seriously means a lot to me and it helps out the channel so much. I really appreciate all of your support. But yeah, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So as you can see just here, we're on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 1 hour chart, and if I just zoom out a little bit, as you can see here, Bitcoin's been forming this massive inverse head and shoulders on the chart, and I've been talking about this over my last few videos now. And I recorded my last video just yesterday on the channel right as Bitcoin was just beginning to break out to the upside, and I'll let you know in that video just yesterday that if we do see this breakout to the upside and we confirm the breakout is real, that's extremely bullish for Bitcoin. But the most important thing that I say when it comes to every single breakout like this, I always let you know that we have to confirm that the breakout is real. Even though this is a really bullish pattern, we can't get too ahead of ourselves. Once again, we have to confirm that the breakout is actually real before we get super bullish. And as you can see just here, when Bitcoin was initially getting this breakout to the upside, which by the way, this level of resistance is currently coming in at around 51,000 US dollars if you're talking about the horizontal resistance line, this blue line. But in terms of the neckline for this inverse head and shoulders, right now that's coming in at more like 52,000 US dollars. But yeah, anyway, as you can see just here, when we were breaking above that resistance level for the first time, right here when we were doing that, as you can see, we weren't really seeing any massive volume at that point in time. If you look at those volume levels, they were pretty average compared to the previous volume. So if you don't already know, I use 2 ways to confirm that a breakout is real. The first way, once again, is to look at the volume. Whenever we get a breakout, whether it's to the upside or to the downside, we have to be looking for a big spike in the volume to confirm that the breakout is real. If the volume just stays down here at just average levels of volume, then that's one way to tell that we could be experiencing a fake out, which is basically just a illegitimate breakout, just like what we saw here. Because as you can see, this massive spike in volume that we saw here, that wasn't when we had the breakout back here. That was actually a couple hours after we broke out, when we broke back below the line of support. So if you look here, this big spike of volume is actually on a red candle. This is when we broke below the line of support once again. And so if anything, that confirmed that we were breaking back down. And as you can see, the price came back up to that resistance level, got a rejection, and it even came up again and got yet a second rejection before we head lower. And for all of the new viewers on the channel, that is the second strategy that I use to determine if a breakout is real or fake. I look for the retest of the significant levels in the price. So on a real breakout, we would come back down to get a retest and get a bounce from that previous resistance level. But on a fake breakout, a fake out, what happens is when we come back down to the retest, we simply break below the resistance level. And when this type of thing happens where we try and get back above and get a rejection, that pretty much just seals the deal that this is a fake out and that we're going to continue to head higher. I mean, this time we even had 2 rejections after we broke back below that resistance level. So yeah, this entire scenario just here was confirmed to be a fake out. As you can see, obviously over the last few days, we've been forming these higher lows on the chart and higher highs on the chart. chart. So once again, we're still in this uptrend in the short term, and to kind of break below this uptrend, we would have to break below 49,000 US dollars. That there is currently where the support is coming in for Bitcoin. But yeah, this blue line of resistance just here is coming in at around 51,500 US dollars. And not only did we see some resistance just here over the last day, if I zoom out further on the chart, we saw some massive resistance over about a week ago from now. Once again, at the $51,500 level, and even further on the chart, we saw some massive support at the $51,500 level back about 2 weeks ago from now. Once again, I already mentioned these two levels of resistance in my previous videos, but this is mainly for all the new viewers on the channel. So once again, the $51,500 level is going to be some big resistance for Bitcoin because of the previous massive resistance and support that we've seen around that level. And the reason why this red line up here, which by the way is coming in at around 52,500 US dollars, the reason why that level in particular is some massive resistance for Bitcoin is because we saw some massive resistance for Bitcoin coming in just here. Only about a day ago from now, when Bitcoin had this fake out, that's where we saw the resistance come in at around 52,500 US dollars. And zooming further back out on the chart, at that same point in time where we got supported at 51,500, we got some massive resistance coming in at 52,500 US dollars. So once again, in this kind of range just here from 51,500 to 52,500, expect some resistance in there, some volatility will happen. And to further confirm that these points are significant resistance levels, if I just bring out the Fibonacci retracement tool on the chart, drawing it from the all-time high at around 58k down to this low that we had around 43k, as you can see here, the most important Fibonacci level, which is the 61.8% Fibonacci level, is currently coming in at 52,500 US dollars. So that comes in perfect confluence with this high that we saw just here about a day ago. And once again, it just confirms my analysis that the $52,500 level is going to be some big resistance for Bitcoin to get above. Now, if we get above this entire range just here, if we kind of break above 53k, would almost certainly be heading straight to 55,000, which is where the next Fibonacci level is coming in. And that's the 78.6% Fibonacci level, once again coming in at around 55,000 US dollars. And this also comes in perfect confluence with this massive rejection that we saw back here on the chart. And we saw some big support at the 55k level just around the 20th of February back here. But yeah, once we get above those Fibonacci levels, then we're going to be heading straight towards that all-time high sitting at around 58,000 US dollars. And obviously because of the all-time high being a very significant level for Bitcoin, and obviously because we've already confirmed that level as resistance because we got a rejection at that level, obviously, that all-time high once again coming in at around 58,000 is going to be our final level of resistance before we shoot into a new all-time high. So those are all of my price targets to the upside for Bitcoin. And now just going over some levels of support for Bitcoin if we break below this trend line. Once again, the level of support for this trend line, which is coming in at around this low just here, which is at about 49,000 US dollars. But if we start breaking below 49,000 and make a new lower low on the chart, then in the immediate short term, that isn't too good for the Bitcoin price, to be honest. Obviously, long term, I'm still super bullish, but I'm just talking about, you know, over the next few days and weeks. And yeah, if we do break below that 49k level, then our next level of support obviously is coming in at around this low, which we also saw some resistance at that level back here. Just mapping it out on the chart, as you can see here, this is coming in at pretty much exactly 47,000 US dollars. As you can see, over this dip that we've had pretty much just in the last one day, Bitcoin's actually perfectly come down to the 61.8% Fibonacci level, which by the way, this Fibonacci level is coming in at around 49,000 US dollars. And once again, I pretty much say this in every single video, this 61.8% Fibonacci level is so important for Bitcoin. It basically acts as like a magnet for the Bitcoin price. And just here over the last day, Bitcoin has demonstrated that perfectly. So yeah, so far, Bitcoin has gotten a perfect bounce off this 61.8% Fibonacci level, once again at 49k. But yeah, because of what's actually happened to Bitcoin over this day, because we saw this big rejection from those resistance levels, I'm not as bullish right now as I was yesterday, for example, when Bitcoin was beginning to break out to the upside. Right now, I'm much more neutral on the Bitcoin price. Honestly, it's difficult to say right now with certainty which way Bitcoin will go. Normally, I can pretty much always just tell you that Bitcoin's much more likely to head to the upside or much more likely to head to the downside, for example. But right now, Bitcoin in the short term is looking pretty neutral because once again, we're still in an uptrend short term, but we have seen a rejection. But yeah, once again, for as long as we hold this this support line, we are still bullish for Bitcoin. So yeah, that support line at 49K, definitely keep an eye out on that level, because if we start breaking below 49K, that's when Bitcoin gets a bit more bearish, just short term. And that's when we can start seeing these lower prices of around 47,000. So yeah, those are all of my exact Bitcoin price targets. And now heading over to the Ethereum US dollar chart, we're on the 1 hour chart for Ethereum. And as you can see just here, I've drawn out these support and resistance lines for Ethereum that Ethereum has been trading inside over the last day pretty much. And if you don't already know, this right here is what's known as a bull flag. So when the price heads to the upside like this and we enter either a sideways consolidation or a downwards consolidation, more commonly between two parallel lines of resistance and support, this type of pattern once again is known as a bullish flag, and it's obviously, as the name suggests, a bullish pattern. In order for Ethereum to get a breakout from this pattern, is the support right now is coming in at around 1,515 US dollars approximately, and the resistance is coming in at around 1,580 US dollars. So if we break above 1,580 US dollars per Ethereum with big volume, once again, please be sure to pay attention to the volume, and especially if we see a retest of these resistance levels as now support, then a breakout to the upside. If I measure out the exact price target, we basically take the size of the flagpole coming into the bull flag, and if we drag that out over towards the breakout, that puts the technical price target right here, which is coming in at around 1,720 US dollars per Ethereum. So this price target just up here is coming in pretty close to this resistance level that I placed on the chart just in my yesterday's video. And that resistance level that I put on the chart in my video just yesterday is right now coming in at around 1,700 US dollars. And the reason why I put that level there at 1,700 US dollars is, if I zoom out, as you can see, we saw some massive resistance at that level about 2 weeks ago now. And zooming even further out, throughout the first half of February, pretty much, we saw some massive support at the 1,700 US dollar level. So this level right here is a very significant level for Ethereum. And right now, because it's above the price, it's going to be some massive resistance for Ethereum to get above. Now, even though this here is a bullish pattern and it is more likely to break to the upside, it's not 100% certain to break to the upside. So I thought I'll just mention here, if Bitcoin does break this line of support, which by the way is coming in at around 1520, then the downside target for Ethereum is coming in pretty much at just this low right here, which is at 1460. And just below that, we see a big line of support coming in at 1430 US dollars. And that's because we had this big low on the chart just here, and we saw this massive support at this level just here. And also the 1430 US dollar level was actually where Ethereum topped out in its previous bull market back at the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. So yeah, the 1430 US dollar level, this yellow line, once again, it's an extremely significant level for Ethereum. And if we break below 1430, then we'll almost definitely see a big move to the downside, which obviously is not something that we all want. Unless, of course, that you haven't bought into Ethereum yet and you're looking for a buy, then that might be something that you're looking for. Now, speaking of buying Ethereum, as you can see here, I have been accumulating a lot of Ethereum over the past 2 weeks or so. I've just been kind of dollar cost averaging into Ethereum over the past 2 weeks. And yeah, just in the last 2 weeks, I bought about $30,000 worth of Ethereum. And as you can see, just today, I actually bought another 3 ETH to add to my ETH holdings to hold for the long term. Yeah, as you can see here, I've been exchanging some of my Bitcoin into Ethereum. And that's because of this chart just here. This is the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart on the 1-day chart. And now look, I'll just quickly mention here that it is very risky to sell Bitcoin into another altcoin, even if it's Ethereum. Even though I've done it, I definitely do not recommend something like this for a beginner into crypto. But yeah, anyway, with that being said, as you can see here, over the last month, pretty much, Ethereum's been on a massive downtrend against Bitcoin. And once again, this is on the daily US dollar chart. And as you can see, the RSI is getting close to these oversold areas for Ethereum. Ethereum has come into some big support just here. And that also comes in confluence with this massive green horizontal line that I've placed on the chart. And this green line of support is right now coming in at 0.03 Bitcoin per Ethereum. And the reason why I've placed that there on the chart is because of two massive reasons. The first massive reason is obviously because we've already seen some massive support coming in at that exact area. We saw some support already just over the last few days for Ethereum at the 0.03 Bitcoin level. Also, going back towards the beginning of January this year, we saw some massive support support at that level once again. Going further out throughout November and December, we saw some huge support at that level before we eventually broke down because we were forming a descending triangle, which is a bearish pattern. But regardless of the bearish pattern back then, we were using that level as support. Even further out, we used that level as a massive resistance. And yeah, that 0.03 Bitcoin level per Ethereum, once again, is just an incredibly significant level for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And also just bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool on the chart from this low at around 0.023 Bitcoin all the way up to this high that we saw a few weeks ago at around 0.046 Bitcoin. As you can see, this is also coming in confluence pretty closely to the 61.8% Fibonacci level. The really important 61.8% Fibonacci level right now is coming in at 0.031 Bitcoin per Ethereum. So once again, this big Fibonacci level is pretty much coming in right where Ethereum is sitting at the moment. Right now, just since this top, Ethereum is at an over 30% discount. From that top to the recent bottom, Ethereum's corrected about 35% to the downside against Bitcoin. So that makes for an incredible buying opportunity into Ethereum. And once again, I'm sticking by that. And as you can see, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm accumulating a lot of Ethereum just recently. And yeah, I even doubled down on that investment just today when I accumulated even more Ethereum. All right, and now heading over to your most suggested altcoin in the comment section of my previous video. This is VeChain. So I do currently hold a little bit of VeChain. It's not a massive amount, but yeah, anyway, this is VeChain against Bitcoin on the 1-day chart. And as you can see here, when you're looking at the VeChain to Bitcoin chart, this here is obviously looking like a pretty good buying opportunity. All the way from this top in July 2020 down to this low, VeChain corrected about 78% to the downside against Bitcoin. VeChain against Bitcoin made its way all the way down to these previous lows on the chart, which is honestly pretty good if you're looking at buying into VeChain. Obviously, since those lows, VeChain has seen some upside action. So obviously where we are right now is not the perfect buy, but comparing it to where we were in the middle of last year, right now is a very good buy. Once again, just comparing to where we were just the middle of last year. Now, just quickly switching over to the VeChain to US dollar chart. As you can see here, this is on the daily charts, by the way. VeChain, just like pretty much every top crypto out there, followed Bitcoin and Ethereum to the downside along this correction. But as you can see over the last few days, VeChain has pretty much fully recovered on this correction on the US dollar chart. We've basically head back up to where we were pre-correction. And yeah, once again, if we break above this resistance level, which by the way, the resistance really starts at around 5.6 cents. But yeah, the top of the resistance obviously is the all-time high, which is coming in at pretty much exactly 6 cents. Once again, my immediate upside target for VeChain, if we break above that 6 cent level, that all-time high level, would be the 1618 Fibonacci level, and that's coming in at 7.6 US cents. And just above that, if we break above that level, the next level of resistance, which is the 2618 Fibonacci level, is coming in at around 10 cents. So yeah, those are my next big price targets to the upside for VeChain in the near term. This could happen over the next few weeks or months. Now, if you look just here, I've got the 50-day EMA on the chart, and as you can see, this has been some really good support for VeChain. When we're in more of a bearish trend on the chart, this is resistance. As you can see, we have multiple resistance throughout a bearish trend. But once we break above this level to the upside, this level is providing support for VeChain, as you can see. And right now, the 50-day EMA is coming in at, once again, 3.8 cents per VeChain. So that's something to keep an eye out for VeChain. But yeah, this is about all I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please make sure to just leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. Also, let me know your favorite altcoin in the comment section down below, and I'll pick out the most suggested altcoin in the comment section to include in my video tomorrow. Just be careful because in the comment section, there can be some scammers down there. So if you get anyone commenting down there or replying to your comment with like a phone number, Telegram, WhatsApp, email, anything like that, please do not contact anyone from the comment section whatsoever, because it is almost definitely a scammer if they're giving you that sort of contact information. So please just stay away from those sort of comments. Just a word of warning. I try and delete them whenever I can, but I'm not always online and they're always just coming in. So yeah, just a word of warning for you all out there. But yeah, this is about all I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.